when it comes to losing fat, most people have no idea how many calories they need to be eating. So they either eat way too little and burn out after like 2 weeks because they just can't stick to the cut, or they eat too much and they're just wondering why they look exactly the same. You've probably experienced this yourself. You diet for a few weeks, you're eating healthy, maybe you cut the carbs, or you skip breakfast, or you cut out dessert, whatever. But then you can't stick to it. You do it for like 2 weeks, you think you're going all good, but your energy crashes, progress stalls, and the whole thing just becomes impossible to stick to. The reason this happens is because almost nobody understands how to actually set their calories correctly for fat loss. Um, but once you understand the one simple framework, uh, you'll know exactly how much to eat and how to lose fat consistently without starving yourself and without guessing. So, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to calculate the caloric range you should be eating every week for fat loss, and more importantly, how to adjust it to continue that fat loss week on week. Okay, so how many calories do you need to eat in a day to lose fat? Fun. We love losing fat. We love fat loss. All right. What is a calorie deficit? Even simpler. Let's take this super simple. What is a calorie? A calorie is a energy unit which your body uses for fuel. Very simple. So your body uses food, and it also stores that food when you have been eating too much, pretty much, and it stores that as fat. So your body has two mechanisms it uses to get its energy. It's caloric daily intake, and that is either through the food you consume or through the fat that is on your body. So, in saying that, eating fewer calories than your body burns per day, you're going to be digging and dipping into that fat storage that you have. So, because we're eating fewer calories than the body is burning on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis, this creates an energy shortage. Like I said before, we're dipping into that fat store. There we go. We're already on the next point. Pretty much, to keep it very simple, calories in is always greater than calories out. This is how you get into the fat loss state. Alright, so step one, calculating your TDEE, or your total daily energy expenditure. This is something that is very easy to figure out in this day and age. Basically, your TDEE is just a combination of all the different facets of which your body is burning fuel in throughout the day. So your basal metabolic rate, which includes things like just breathing, keeping your organs functioning, daily activities like working, any sort of fidgeting you do, and then additional exercises. So if you go into the gym, your strength training, you're doing cardio, playing sports, basketball, etc. This is something that's very easy to calculate, and I'll show you exactly how to do it right now. So you just go over to TDE calculator.net.au, whatever the fuck it is. And if my computer decides to load. Okay, so once you get to this site, this is the one you're going to want. They're all pretty much the same, but this is the one that I use. And remember, this is just an estimate, so it's not going to be exactly what you need, but it's good. It's a good place to start. Like, you're going to actually have an estimate, because we're working off an estimate right now. There is a better way you could go about it, which would be tracking the exact amount of intake that you're having per day, and then tracking your daily weight, like how your weight is fluctuating from that. But that will take too long. We just need a simple baseline to start from, and then we can always reduce the calories extra or increase the activity depending on the results that you're taking. So, nice easy one. Let's go. Male, age 20, height, I'm going to go 6 foot, 180 centimeters, and your weight, let's say you're a bit of a fatty. All right, so you're weighing like 85 kilos, not 845. And let's just say you moderate exercise, because a lot of people do overestimate their exercise activities, even if they are quite sedentary. Okay, so once it's done calculating, you'll be popped up to this page, and you can see the estimated TDEE or body weight maintenance energy requirement for a day for the person that we put in before is 2750, so around 2800 calories. And you can see the energy intake to lose weight is suggesting an 1,000 calorie deficit, which is a kilo of body fat lost per week. This is quite an aggressive cut. Um, Not highly recommended if you're a beginner. I would definitely recommend sticking to that 2,000 plus rate. And obviously, the more activity and if you can increase that, if you can increase this number as much as you possibly can, the more food you can actually eat. And that's going to help you hitting any sort of macro goals. So you're going to be easily able to hit your protein. You're going to easily be able to not be in a nutrient deficit of all those good nutrients that your body needs. All right, so we sort of covered this. How much of a deficit should you be in? 3 to 500 is pretty good rule of thumb. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you are sitting at 2,800, just drop it down to 2,500, and then just analyze, see how easy it is, see how much of a hunger signaling you're getting. You shouldn't really be getting too much, to be honest, especially if you're not super active. But in saying that, we also do want to be weight training and doing extra cardio. So we're trying to bump up that maintenance calories as much as possible to get yourself into a more of a aggressive state of cutting without actually reducing any more food. Okay, additional notes. So in a cut, you're going to want to always be prioritizing protein. All your macros are very important, and the three proteins, carbs, and fats are going to want to be timed, and none of them need to be neglected, especially your fats. Fats be getting hated on. I fucking hate to see it. The fats get hated on so much by modern day fitness influencers and a lot of gurus out there, especially because everyone is so fixated on cutting so hard, but everyone crashes their hormones because your body is such a fat dependent organism, but it just gets hated on because it is 9 calories per gram of fat, whereas your proteins and your carbs only contain those for 4 calories per gram. But anyways, enough of the rant. Protein, let's keep it at a minimum of 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So let's say you're 80, what were we saying before? 80 kilos. So that's probably going to be like 180 pounds, somewhere around there. So you're going to want to aim for like 150 grams of protein per day. That's going to make sure you do maintain that lean muscle mass that you do have on you. Obviously, it's going to vary depending on how much of a fucking fat ass you are. Like that, this number here is dependent on your lean body mass. Don't go too low. I made this mistake a long time ago, but man, I was cutting so hard, like fucking 1,700 calories a day. It ain't fun. It ain't fun. You don't live a good life. Your lifestyle takes a massive hit. Your social life takes a massive hit. You just don't want to do anything. Just getting up and going to the gym is a chore, and that is not something that you want. You want to still be loving your life. Fitness should not be something that detriments your life. It should be an enhancement at all times, and a cut or a fat loss stage is a part of that. It should never hinder you. Another thing, consistently tracking 2 to 3 weeks before adjusting. Super easy thing that you can implement into your life. Just buy a food scale, and for the first 2 weeks, if you're eating predominantly the same things, just weigh it out, get a good idea of what that looks like in your head, and that way you don't always have to track the foods if you're logging in your phone, if you're using an app, or if you're writing in your notes and calculating it yourself. All right, so another thing, weight fluctuations. This is something that is going to happen, especially if you're weighing yourself on a scale. So you're waking up in the morning, you're taking a piss, and you're weighing yourself naked every morning. Your weight's going to fluctuate. Even if you are consistently in a caloric deficit, say you are in a 500 calorie deficit per day, and you're not losing that required weight, that weight on the scale isn't going down as consistently as you'd like. Weight isn't the thing that we're looking to lose. Remember, it's the fat. So as long as you are staying in that caloric deficit, the fat is dropping off. The weight might not be fluctuating, or the weight might be fluctuating too much just due to the amount of carbs you consumed the other day, because carbs do hold on to additional water, which is going to make your body weight go up. And I try and use the mirror as much as possible. The mirror is going to be your best friend in determining your actual body fat percentage and how the cut is actually going. All right, include strength training. This is going to ensure that we are maintaining muscle mass, and if you're new as well, it's going to help you um, build some additional muscle. So once you have lost that weight, you actually have that toned look, which a lot of people are probably going for. It's also going to help bump up that TDEE, which we were talking about before, because strength training is going to burn around like 100 to 300 calories per session, depending on how hard you are training. Sleep and stress matter. They affect hormones and hunger. This is a little bit more deep. I'm not going to go too complex into this, but especially during a cut, you're going to want to be aiming for like minimum 7 hours of sleep per night, because that is the time that your body is going to be recovering. It's going to help you with your hormones staying balanced throughout the time, especially if you are dropping those fats a bit lower. You're going to need your recovery and your sleep. Aim for 7 hours. Between 7 and 9 is a sweet spot for me. That's where I feel the most rested and most energetic. Yeah. So, to summarize quickly, calculate your TDE. Head over to the TDE calculator. Subtract 3 to 500 calories. Track it consistently. Buy a food scale. Use a tracking agent like a chronometer, or use your notes on your phone. And just be patient. Stick with it. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to be something like a 12-week program. So you can be looking at losing 12 kilos in 12 weeks. You could be an entirely different person. Or it could be something more moderate, something like 6 kilos in 12 weeks. Still, you're going to look and feel a lot better. So consistency is key, man. Remember that. Consistency is always key over perfection. Alright, guys, so that was basically just a little high view picture of how to lose fat. I'm going to be going deeper and delving into more topics. Obviously, this content creation journey is going to be something I'm going to get a lot better at. I've got a lot of knowledge that I'm wanting to share with you, give a lot away to you guys for free. So if you could smash the subscribe button and give us a like as well if you've made it to the end of the video. Even drop a comment down in the comment section below. Any questions, anything you want me to answer for you. Happy to help. You guys help me. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Appreciate you.